carrying the flame. Act I. Shadows of dusk. The hospital hallway was steeped in shadows, sunset casting long fingers through the windows, warming the sterile floors that stretched in both directions. Seemingly endless and uneasy quiet reigned, broken by distant machine hums and nurses' muffled conversations that flowed in undertones. Like a river of subdued emotion, Sam sat in a plastic chair, hands clasped, knuckles white, the weight of familial estrangement etched into his haggard face, each line a testament to time and unspoken hurt. An old clock ticked audibly on the wall, marking time's relentless passage, each second a reminder of moments lost. Winter's cold breath gusted against the windows, rattling them with a force that mirrored the chill within Sam's heart. Frost-glazed streets lay in stark silence, appearing as deserted as his spirit felt his mind replayed the argument with his estranged brother, Jordan. The shouted words, the slammed door. Years had passed since they last spoke, harsh words still echoing vividly as if spoken moments ago. Now Jordan lay somewhere beyond those walls, clinging tenuously to life. Sam's heart ached with deep regret, a heavy stone lodged in his chest. In a moment of honesty, he whispered, voice low, "Lord of mercy, help me. I don't know how to do this alone." A nurse passed, her heels clicking softly, a whisper on the polished floor. Her brief, compassionate gaze met Sam's, offering an unspoken assurance that grace was nearer than it felt. A reminder of humanity in a place defined by its clinical detachment. She moved gracefully down the corridor, leaving a trail of hope in her wake. Candle in the hallway. Night wrapped the world outside in a deep indigo cloak. The hospital a bright island in shadows, Sam stood, the act feeling monumental, like lifting a heavy burden from shoulders weary of carrying the past. Needing to move, he wandered the hallway, fluorescent lights casting a cold glow on sterile walls adorned with faded art, a poor substitute for warmth and comfort. The walls seemed to close in, pressing with unspoken fears and silent prayers, each step echoing lonely in the quiet. "Shepherd of my soul," Sam whispered, leaning against the wall, the cool surface grounding him amidst swirling thoughts. How did we drift so far apart? Show me the way back to him, if it's not too late. His prayer was a plea from the very depths of his being, seeking solid ground, reaching for something transcendent, something only God could provide. As he prayed, warmth bloomed slowly in his chest, tentative but persistent, like spring's first wildflower breaking through winter's hold. Compelled to reach out, he sensed an encouraging nudge, reassuring and steady, a whisper of assurance that he was not alone in this journey toward reconciliation. Sparks of renewal. Sam's phone, a cold rectangle in his hand, felt both fragile and powerful, a lifeline and a barrier. His trembling fingers scrolled to Jordan's name. A simple entry weighted with years and memories, the embodiment of both past pain and potential healing. Fear whispered it was too late, that forgiveness was unreachable, a bridge too burned to ever cross again. But warmth flared within, urging him on like a flame kindled by hope, an ember refusing to be snuffed out. He pressed call, breath hitching as the line connected, each ring echoing like a heartbeat, rhythmic with his chest's frantic drumming. Then Jordan's voice, frail yet familiar, emerged like an old melody rediscovered after a long silence, harmonizing with Sam's longing for redemption. Words rushed forth, apologies, explanations, tumbling over each other in their haste to mend what was broken. Sam's heart softened, his voice cracking, seeking forgiveness he felt unworthy to ask for, yet desperately needed. In those moments, past grievances melted away like autumn leaves in a gentle wind. their brittle sharpness giving way to the soft earth below. Their conversation became a prayer, a shared surrender, a step toward healing that had seemed impossible only hours before. Silence followed, rich and full, a sacred space where hearts met anew, unburdened by yesterday. Holy One, who guides us through the night and into light, grant us the courage to seek forgiveness and offer it freely. Help us to mend what is broken, to carry a flame for the lost, and to find peace in your gentle presence. Amen. Behold the Lamb. Act I, shadows of doubt. The ancient cathedral stood solemn under the darkening sky, its towering spires piercing the clouds like fingers. Reaching toward heaven, twilight stretched shadows across its weathered stones, where intricate carvings, lovingly crafted by hands long returned to dust, were worn smooth by time. Soft rain kissed the cathedral's surfaces with a gentle, nogmakal hum, like a lullaby sent from the heavens inside. Where the world seemed to hold its breath, young seminarian Thomas sat alone in the chapel, seeking solace beneath the sanctuary lamp's flicker. The silence of the empty pews magnified his inner turmoil, while dim orange hues from the stained glass cast a kaleidoscope of colors across the worn stone floor. Thomas clutched his hands together, battling deep-seated doubt that rooted him to the spot. Training for the priesthood had raised specters of questions he couldn't answer, shadows of fear he couldn't dispel. Was he truly called to this path? Did his heart truly know its own desire? In his distress, he whispered into the silent vastness, "Lord of mercy, if you are truly guiding me, give me a sign. I feel lost and unworthy of your grace. Help me see the truth." His voice, fragile and tremulous, echoed briefly before dissolving into the sacred stillness, leaving only the rain's soft symphony to cradle his unresolved yearning. It was as if the cathedral itself held its breath, listening. An old priest, Father Ignatius, entered quietly, his footsteps as soft as the rain that painted the world outside. He carried with him a peaceful aura, a testament to decades of prayer and a life steeped in holy reflection. Without a word, he settled beside Thomas, a gentle presence in the young man's solitude. Time stretched gracefully in silence, an unbroken stream that flowed with the kind of peace only shared stillness could bring. The world outside grew darker, yet within a lamp never wavered, its glow defying the gathering dusk. Intuitively, Thomas sensed the pastor's silent prayer, feeling its ripple through the chapel's hushed air. Father Ignatius finally spoke, his voice a low murmur, rich and full like a cherished hymn. Sometimes the Lord speaks not through thunder, but through the quiet whisper of our hearts. Can you hear it, Thomas?
letting the words resonate within him. Listen beyond the silence. A calmness began to seep into his soul, gentle as the rain, and peace unfurled like a bud ready to bloom. After Father Ignatius departed, Thomas remained, bathed in the chapel's warm, amber glow, a sanctuary both protective and inviting the sacred space around him, whispered of sacred stories and ancient prayers. He felt a pull to leave and stepped into the soft rain, now a cleansing balm beneath the expansive, dark sky. He walked the garden paths, where each droplet seemed to echo Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. The leaves dripped with heaven's tears, and the earth beneath his feet felt solid and reassuring. He dared to cast his fears aside and offered a turning prayer. Shepherd of my soul, I surrender my fears to you. Help me trust the steps you have ordained for me. With each humble word, he felt out lifting like mist under the morning sun. As the rain washed over him, he realized he was learning to hear God's voice in the stillness, in every breath of wind, in every raindrop that caressed his face and whispered to his heart. The chapel's windows glowed soft orange against the night, a beacon promising warmth and sanctuary. Thomas knew with newfound clarity that this journey was not one he walked alone. Light of understanding, returning to the chapel, his heart lighter than the rain-soaked air around him, Thomas knelt once more before the altar. Something profound had shifted, a veil lifted, revealing a grace he hadn't perceived before. His doubts now seemed like distant shadows, memories of a storm now stilled. He saw that God had spoken through Father Ignatius's silence, through the rain's gentle touch, and through the courage now filling the wells of his soul. To Lord of infinite calm, in the whispers of silence, you guide me in surrender. I find your peace. Help me trust in your path. Remain my guiding light. boss wound through the desert as dust painted the sky in golds and purples. Inside, a medley of dust, sweat and stories filled the air. Maya sat by the window, tracing patterns on the foggy glass. A fleeting escape from the storm of truth she long suppressed. As the sun dipped, the bus stopped, and passengers stretched in the dim light. A soft-spoken man with a face marked by time sat beside her, offering a thermos. Its fragrant steam was a comforting balm against the night's chill. She accepted it, the warmth spreading like a quiet promise around them. The desert hushed as if holding its breath.
The stranger's vows, its journey, its rhythm a lullaby against the dark. The stranger spoke, the truth is like this desert wind, it finds you. His words resonated with Maya, echoing the discomfort within. He pulled out a worn Bible, reading softly. For you were once darkness, but now you are light in the Lord. Maya felt the weight of her secret, her soul stirring, closing her eyes. She prayed silently, Holy Shepherd, I am lost and afraid. Help me step out of the shadows. She heard the stranger whisper, the Lord guides those who seek His light. Night enveloped the land as the bus stopped at a small village. Maya followed the stranger outside into the starry night. The stars, reminders of God's presence, illuminated the sands. Taking a deep breath, she confessed, I hid something, a betrayal to someone who trusts me. I've let fear lead me. Her voice trembled under the confession's weight, but the stranger's silence offered comfort. She prayed aloud, her voice mingling with the night. Lord of mercy, grant me courage to confess. Help me restore what I've broken. A gentle breeze swept over her, a divine whisper offering hope. Steps toward the light, the dawn painted the desert in soft gold, promising new beginnings. As the bus continued, Maya felt a shift. The fear that shadowed her began to fade, replaced by courage. She realized healing was within reach, trusting God's guidance, approaching her journey's end. She resolved to return and confront her truth. Her steps, once heavy, now carried hope, rooted in the faith that the Lord walked beside her. His presence unwavering, Embrace my fears, for guiding me through darkness into your light. Grant me wisdom and peace to mend the broken, and courage to stand in truth with love.